Oh, hi there. I'm just working on Fujifilm's brand new firmware for the Fujifilm X-T50. I'm about to send it to them any second now. Now, the Fujifilm X-T50 was released last week with a brand new dial that had people kind of like, what's the whole point of that? Because the way the dial functions is it lets you cycle through your film simulations so that you can see what each film simulation's strengths and weaknesses are. I think maybe this dial was maybe aimed at people new to the Fujifilm system and maybe not so much power users that like to create recipes and save them and, have their special looks. But I think there's a simple fix and it would make this camera a lot more appealing to the Fujifilm fan base, which is, after reading all the comments about this dial, are not really happy with it. And I understand, because the way the dial works right now is you can change stuff, like for example, your shadow, your highlights, and then when you switch the dial, the only thing that will switch is the film simulation. So for example, if you like -2 on your shadows, you can have classic chrome shadows -2, and then you switch the dial and it'll be Provia shadows -2, Velvia shadows -2. However, with my fancy little firmware here, it's a very simple fix. And I think if Fujifilm did this, this camera would be a super hit with the fan base that's super angry. Now, although I wrote this firmware, I think the firmware already exists. So it's an even easier job, even though I'm going to send it to them because I can code. I think this firmware already exists because on the Fujifilm XS20, there's some custom functions you can save. They're called C1, C2, C3, and the way they work is you can save film simulation, shadow, grain, white balance shift onto each of them. So you can actually have film recipes saved to each custom function. Now, all Fujifilm has to do with the cool new film simulation dial is all they need to do is keep the film simulation locked. So if the dial is on a specific film simulation, it will be that film simulation, but it should allow you to save or update your custom settings under that, like shadows and white balance shifts. And that way, for power users, they can actually have their film simulations from Fuji X Weekly's website saved on each of those little film simulation dudes. Now, currently on the camera, if you switch the dial to the letter C, this will let you cycle through the menu your different custom function recipes. So there is a workaround by using the dial, but it would have to live on C all the time, which is a little sad. So right now, I think the dial is a little bit limited, but it could totally be fixed. Hold on, let me send it in a second. All right, let me know what you think. I'll see you guys next time.